We've been telling you about all the Americans who have been voting early this year, double what we had 4 years ago, off the charts in almost every state we've seen it enacted and started. I think Georgia, though, must hold certainly the percentage record. Brad Raffensberger is the Secretary of State of the Peach State and kind enough to give us a read on all of that. Secretary, it's always an honor having you. Thank you for taking the time. Are even you surprised by the number who are coming out this early?
Not really, Neil. And the reason is that we only have about 5% are going to vote absentee. So those voters have to vote someplace, and they've always preferred voting during the early cycle. And so this morning, before we started, we were at 1,135,000 voters who had voted early. Now we're already up to 1,176,000 today. So before your show's over, we'll be over 1.2 million, maybe 1,250,000. By the end of today, we'll be at 1.4 million that have voted early.
Now, when does early voting end?
In 2 weeks. So we have 2 more weeks of this, and this is only a 4-day cycle. Next week will be for 6 days because we have Saturday voting again next week, and then we're also going to have then 5 days on the last week. So at the end of the day, it's just strong turnout that we're going to have, and that's going to be over 4 million people that vote early, and that's probably about 65–70% of our vote total. I think it kind of just shows you when Stacey Abrams came down here and talked about the Election Integrity Act of 2002. She was just 2020. She was just all wrong because it's never been easier to vote.
Yeah,
it's
and they
hard
were
to
pulling
cheat.
the all-star game from you guys. I remember that. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get a sense from you. I mean, can you show me the procedure then? What happens, Secretary? Which ballots are counted first? Day of voting, all of these early votes, because you're going to have potentially millions of them.
Well, the advantage of what we did with SB 202 and then also this year, SB 189, now all of the early accepted absentee ballots and all the early voting will be reported no later than 8 p.m. on election night. And so that's going to give people 70% probably of the total votes cast will be reported no later than 8 p.m. And the great thing is we have counties that are actually racing to see who can get their vote totals put up there on the board first. So you'll see stuff at 7:01, 7:02, but no later than 8 p.m. Lines have to be shorter than 1 hour on election day also. Great voter experience. And now we have this new electronic poll pad. When I voted, I got checked in less than 50 seconds. I was in and out in less than 10 minutes. So Trish and I voted earlier this week, and it was just a fast, smooth, seamless process. It's safe, secure, and voters trust the process, and that's why you're seeing record turnout. And that's why I'm not surprised. Despite what you've been hearing from everyone else, we are recognized top in the nation for election integrity. We've worked hard to earn that title.
The issue with counting and all of that, a judge shot down an effort to have hand-counted ballots going on Election Day. What do you think of that? How does that complicate things for you?
Well, I'm glad that the judge did shoot it down, and I never supported it from day one. But lo and behold, we had several counties themselves, Republican counties, supported by the boards, sued on those rules, and they got shut down by a judge. So we also had a very conservative think tank that came in, Georgia-based, that sued based on constitutional issues. So at the end of the day, it went down in flames. But the good thing is it actually will help us continue to have those quick results. So you're not waiting until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We intend to have those results posted, 80% of them, as it goes over the night, and then we'll see. We'll probably be done by 12 midnight with most of the counties, which we're excited about, because then people can go to bed at night and not have to stay up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Secretary, while I have you here, I mean, obviously you and Donald Trump have had your dust-ups and differences. He's buried the hatchet with your governor, and has he buried the hatchet with you, or you with he?
Well, I'm just doing my job, and I'm making sure we have fair, honest, accurate voting. And so I have no axe to grind on anyone. They're going to get a fair vote. I don't care. As a Republican, I care who they vote for. But when I put on my Secretary of State hat, we're doing our job. And that's what we're called to do, is do our job. Follow the law, follow the Constitution. But also, can we keep those lines short? Can we report those results quickly? Why can't we turn this voting into a fun experience? Why does it have to be such a daily chore? And so it's not a grind here. It's actually fun to vote because the line's so quick.
You and Donald Trump, it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse. I apologize for that. But, obviously that the friction that you were getting from Donald Trump and worse, is that dissipated? Has you moved on? What?
I know that I'm not worried about it, and I don't think he is either. He's in a tight race. This is going to be close, and I think he's up in Latrobe, Pennsylvania tonight. My dad was born in Johnstown, so I know that area well. It's going to be a cold night, but he's out there working it hard. I know she is, and that's what they're doing.
When's the last time, Secretary? When's the last time, Secretary, you talked to Donald Trump? Just curious.
Oh, it was when I talked a few years ago, and that'll probably be it. He's out. He's got big things to do right now, and I understand that. But we have big things to do also. Make sure we keep those lines short, and people can continue to vote. We have record turnout. We're excited about it. We're going to be well over that 5 million number we had back in 2020.
Real quickly, where is that turnout coming from? A lot of people read into, are they Democratic strongholds, Republican strongholds?
We actually have that on a map, like we have our election data hub, and you look at every single county and it shows it. It's really all over the state. So people can make all their guesses they want, but you're seeing it turn out rural areas, urban areas, suburban areas. It's just turning out statewide. People are engaged. People want to support their candidate.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.